no question mark down in Knoxville as to who the quarterback will be for the Tennessee Volunteers. We're pretty sure about that, but there are certainly questions everywhere else because they were pretty quiet in the winter portal, but they did celebrate a number 11 ranked 2025 class on National Signing Day, and 23 of the 25 players enrolled early. They've been going through spring ball, and our Patrick Brown from GoVols 24/7 updates us on how the lone five-star in the class is doing.
At Tennessee, all eyes have been on David Sanders Jr. this spring, and the five-star freshman offensive tackle hasn't disappointed. After measuring himself against the likes of James Pierce Jr. and Joshua Josephs during college football playoff practices back in December, Sanders hit the ground running after enrolling in January and made the most of winter workouts, putting 20 pounds on his impressive 6'6" frame. He got up to 290 pounds for the start of spring ball, with 300 to 305 the target range for the season. On the field, Sanders has worked almost exclusively at right tackle. Now, left tackle was his primary position in high school, and that's probably going to be his long-term spot at Tennessee as well. But for now, that's where the Vols have Lance Hurd, the lone returning starter for a new-look offensive line. Sanders has impressed teammates and flashed what offensive line coach Glenn Ellerbe described as freaky talent, and he's played faster and more free as he's gotten more and more comfortable in the offense with the reps that he's gotten this spring. He hasn't staked a claim to a starting spot just yet, with Larry Johnson III getting most of the first-team reps there at right tackle this spring. But should Sanders continue on his current trajectory, it's likely a matter of when and not if that he's atop the depth chart for the Vols.
So Patrick's saying that David Sanders Jr. has been working exclusively at right tackle, but that might not be where he ends up in the future for his career. But how about this fall, Brandon? Where do we expect to see him?
Yeah, I think David Sanders will stay there at right tackle. They'll give him some opportunities there. I think he could potentially start. In fact, I think my expectation is he's going to push his way into that starting lineup when August and preseason camp comes around. He's done a fantastic job in this offseason. The thing, though, is that Larry Johnson III, he's got 3 years of experience, but I think this is a perfect year for him. He can go in, whether he's the starter or backup at right tackle, but continue to develop so that he can move over to left tackle, the money-making position along that offensive line here in year 2, maybe even year 3. So I love that move for David Sanders, and I think he's going to fit very well at right tackle.
Yeah, David being such an athletically gifted offensive lineman, left tackle, right tackle, guard, whatever position that you put him at, you had value to him because what he is, he's a physical player in the run game, the pass game, and it all comes to him so easily. Now that my biggest question on him was his ability to play with strength and adding on 20 such pounds in that weight room, and he looks physically different. You're getting a dominant player. I just hope that they just don't rush him into play right now, and he's not ready. But right tackle, ooze your way in, seeing left tackle for a couple of years, and he'll be doing some type of chest bump with the commissioner in the NFL in the NFL draft. Talented guy.
Certainly. I love a good right tackle spring battle as much as the next person. But, Smoke, when the orange and white game kicks off this Saturday, what do you have your eyes on?
I want to see the defensive line. Do they have the same depth that they had last year where they rolled 8, 9 guys through? And when you watch them throughout the season, they got stronger. Their defense carried them. We all thought that Vol Nation was going to be an offensive prowess, scoring 40, 30-something points. No, they played dominant defense. And when they got into later on in the season, you saw that defense show up and give them the opportunity to go up there. Yes, they got their faces kicked in, Emily, on the road. But the only reason why they had that chance to go up there is because they had the depth on their defensive line to play longer in the season, run the ball, stop the ball from being run, and play good defense. And that's what I want to see.
I've got concerns with Tennessee's offensive line. They lose 4 or 5 starters, including 2 all-SEC type of players there along that starting offensive line. And Nico Iamaleava is going to go as far as that offensive line can carry them. Obviously, Tennessee was much more potent, I thought, as a running team, especially some tight games on the road. Can they keep doing that? Obviously, changing things at running back and then having to break in a new offensive line. Again, depth is going to be the big thing here in developing guys, bringing them up. Also, Arizona transfer Wendell Moe, left guard, played a lot of ball at Arizona, played in an up-tempo system. He struggled a little bit last year. They changed the offense a little bit there at Arizona, but now he's going back into a system that he's more familiar with. I think Wendell Moe at left guard is someone to really watch here this offseason, and then going into the year as maybe someone that could blossom into that all-SEC type player. He's in a familiar scheme.
I love it. Our guys say pay attention to the big guys come Saturday. Brandon Marcello, thank you for joining us for these spring previews. You can check out more of his work at cbssports.com and on 247sports.com. That is where you will find extensive recruiting rankings, wall-to-wall team coverage, and transfer portal updates. The portal opens next week, people. Get ready. Also, check out the work from these great team sites you heard from. They'll get you ready to go for Saturday and bring you all the reaction and the info that we learn coming out of it.